Alien scientists believed no intelligent life could evolve here, not with storms strong enough to split continents, predators smarter than prey, and a planet that kills anything too slow to adapt. But humanity didn't just survive this world, we learned from it. These are the 10 secrets Earth carved into us, the secrets that change the galaxy forever.
The first Concordance survey ship entered the Sol system expecting routine analysis. Another harmless world orbiting a yellow star. Another peaceful biosphere with predictable climates and gentle life forms. That was the pattern across the galaxy. Stability, balance, safety. Earth shattered that pattern in seconds. Their sensors detected atmospheric lightning storms forming and collapsing within minutes, oceans rising in violent surges, magnetic fields twisting with unstable power, temperature zones shifting faster than the drone could compensate. Every scan triggered more alarms. The ship's AI attempted recalibration 12 times before declaring the planet environmentally hostile. Then the biological readings came in. Predators with bone-shattering force, venomous creatures capable of killing in minutes, plants that choked, burned, or poisoned, microorganisms evolving faster than simulations could track. The ship had cataloged hundreds of worlds, but none like this. Earth wasn't just alive, it was aggressive, and yet something far worse appeared on their screens. Intelligent life. Humanity. Standing, developing, thriving in a world where survival should have been mathematically impossible. The Concordance analysts refused to believe the data. Intelligent species evolved on garden worlds, soft, stable, predictable environments. Civilization required calm, safety, harmony. But humans had built civilization inside chaos. The director of xenobiology studied early transmissions. He saw humans climbing impossible mountains, crossing hostile deserts, navigating oceans that swallowed ships whole. He saw cities built on fault lines, rivers, cliffs, places no logical species would choose. Humans didn't avoid danger, they confronted it, learned from it, conquered it. The first message the Concordance recorded from Earth wasn't a plea for help or an expression of fear. It was a simple human greeting, friendly, confident, curious. Hello, we come in peace. Peace, from a Deathworld species. The Concordance Council members argued for days. Some claimed the transmissions were fake. No Deathworld survivor could sound that calm. Others insisted humanity was a threat that needed immediate containment. But one truth was undeniable. Earth had forged something the galaxy had never seen, a species that evolved not through stability, but through relentless challenge, a species that viewed danger as normal, a species that adapted faster than any hostile environment could kill them. And the Council realized, far too late, that they were no longer observing a simple world. They were witnessing the rise of the galaxy's most unpredictable force. Humanity. This was the beginning of everything that followed.
Earth was a teacher like no other. It didn't hand out gentle lessons. It threw storms, earthquakes, fires, and floods at every generation. Every human who survived learned quickly. Weakness meant death. Every mistake was costly. Every delay could be fatal. Alien observers struggled to understand how life could endure here. On their homeworlds, seasons were predictable, climates were stable, and survival was rarely a daily challenge. On Earth, it was an all-consuming battle. One wrong step could mean annihilation. The very ground, air, and sea seemed alive with hostility, as if the planet itself tested every creature for cunning, speed, and resilience. Humans did more than survive. They adapted. They built shelters to resist floods and tornadoes, weapons to fight the predators that stalked them, tools to endure the extremes of heat and cold. They learned to read the weather by subtle cues in wind, sky, and animal behavior. They discovered how to manipulate fire, water, and stone. Every challenge forced innovation. Every disaster created new strategies. Humanity's greatest weapon was its ability to change faster than the world could kill it. This was the first lesson the Concordance had to learn. Humans are not merely survivors, they are adaptable by design. A species forged in the crucible of catastrophe evolves instincts, intelligence, and courage unmatched by calmer worlds. Humans didn't merely react, they anticipated, improvised, and improved. They turned death into experience, fear into preparation, and loss into knowledge. The aliens observed small groups navigating impossible landscapes, climbing volcanoes, crossing icy rivers, walking through forests where predators hunted silently, yet emerging stronger each time. Unlike any other species the Concordance had cataloged, humans treated survival as a baseline expectation, not a privilege. Their eyes gleamed with curiosity rather than terror. Their laughter echoed even in the face of danger. Where other species might panic, humans analyzed, learned, and pressed forward. And in that relentless drive to endure, they unknowingly mastered something far more valuable than simple survival. They became unpredictable. The galaxy had never encountered a species capable of turning environmental hostility into strategic advantage. One lesson was clear: never underestimate a species shaped by a planet that actively tries to kill it. Humanity was born from chaos. Every storm, every predator, every deadly challenge had carved adaptability into its bones. And the aliens realized, Earth had not just created survivors, it had created warriors, thinkers, and masters of unpredictability. The first secret of humanity had been written long before the Concordance arrived. Adaptation is the oldest weapon, and humans wielded it perfectly. Earth didn't just challenge humans, it hunted them. Predators lurked in forests, deserts, and oceans, each more cunning, faster, and deadlier than the last. Survival wasn't guaranteed, and every encounter demanded strategy, skill, and courage. Humanity had no choice but to rise to the challenge. The Concordance was astonished. Alien researchers had cataloged hundreds of species, yet none had learned to fight with the precision and creativity humans displayed. Where other creatures relied on instinct alone, humans combined intelligence, cooperation, and adaptability. They set traps, tracked patterns, predicted behaviors. Every predator became a teacher, every encounter a lesson in hunting and survival. Humans didn't merely survive, they evolved. Early tribes discovered fire could drive off predators, sharpened tools became weapons, and coordinated strategies allowed small groups to overcome beasts larger and stronger than themselves. Even the most dangerous animals taught humans patience, planning, and courage. A failed hunt wasn't a defeat, it was experience. A mistake wasn't fatal, it was information. The Concordance studied these interactions with growing unease. They had never seen a species learn so rapidly from life-threatening danger. Humans treated predators not as a threat alone, but as part of an intricate system to master. And in mastering the predators, humans mastered themselves, their reflexes, their instincts, their mental acuity. This was humanity's second secret. Predators sharpened our minds and forged our courage. The deadliest beings on Earth didn't break humans, they refined them. Every encounter honed coordination, communication, and tactics. Every survival story added to a collective intelligence that grew faster than any simulation the aliens could run. Where other species evolved slowly over millennia, humans adapted in decades, sometimes within a single generation. By the time the Concordance dispatched observers, humans had become proficient hunters in both forest and city, wilderness and engineered terrain. They could outthink, outmaneuver, and survive far stronger adversaries than themselves. It was a type of intelligence born not from comfort or safety, but from relentless challenge. A species forged by predators was a species the galaxy had never imagined. Earth's predators, relentless and unforgiving, had done what no teacher or textbook could. They had created warriors. Humans didn't just meet danger, they anticipated it, manipulated it, and turned it into advantage. In every shadow, every roar, every chase, humanity's instincts sharpened. And the Concordance understood a terrifying truth. A species forged by predators was unpredictable, adaptable, and unstoppable.
Earth didn't wait for humans to be ready. Every crisis demanded solutions, and every solution had to work or fail immediately. From the first sparks of fire to the crafting of sharp stones, humanity learned that survival required constant invention. The planet itself was the ultimate pressure test, and only the cleverest would endure. The Concordance watched as early humans faced floods, wildfires, and sudden predator attacks. Entire communities were destroyed in hours. Yet survivors innovated. They learned to divert water, build fires that wouldn't spread, sharpen tools to deadly perfection, and create shelters that could withstand storms. Each disaster accelerated human ingenuity. Mistakes were cataloged, corrected, and improved upon. Humanity didn't merely invent, they adapted technology to the demands of a hostile world. This relentless drive produced the second truth the Concordance would record. Innovation is survival. Other species evolved slowly, passing knowledge over millennia. Humans, by contrast, solve problems in days, sometimes hours. Fire, tools, weapons, farming, architecture, communication. Every advance was honed in the crucible of necessity. Failure was a teacher, danger a motivator, and survival the ultimate reward. Alien scientists studied humans' ability to learn collectively. Knowledge wasn't confined to individuals. It spread, improved, and multiplied across entire groups. One group discovered fire-resistant shelters, another invented stone axes, another mastered coordinated hunting. This communal intelligence, refined under threat, created not just survival, but a culture of mastery over the environment. Humans didn't wait for nature to yield, they forced it to comply.
When the Concordance finally arrived, they were stunned by the sophistication they found. Humans built cities in areas that should have been uninhabitable, mountains prone to landslides, river valleys that flooded without warning, volcanic slopes. Each location was chosen for strategic advantage, each structure designed to withstand the unexpected. Humans turned every hazard into an opportunity. And yet the most terrifying innovation wasn't in weapons, tools, and buildings. It was in humans themselves. Their adaptability, creativity, and foresight combined into a living algorithm, a species capable of solving impossible problems in real time. Earth didn't just breed survivors, it produced thinkers, inventors, and strategists. The Concordance recorded one undeniable fact. Any species forged by a hostile world and taught to innovate constantly could never be predicted, contained, or controlled. Innovation wasn't optional for humans, it was survival instinct. An instinct, when sharpened by millennia of deadly challenge, became power. This was humanity's third secret. Innovation under fire creates unstoppable force.
Earth didn't just challenge individuals, it tested communities. Storms, predators, and scarce resources forced humans to rely on each other. Survival wasn't a solo endeavor. Those who worked together thrived, those who didn't were lost. This was a principle written into humanity's DNA long before the Concordance arrived. Cooperation was survival. Early humans coordinated hunts, shared knowledge of dangerous terrain, and defended each other against predators. Tribes formed alliances, not just for comfort, but because unity meant life itself. Every member had a role: scouts, hunters, builders, caregivers. When one failed, another stepped in. Mistakes became lessons for the group. The collective intelligence of humanity far outstripped individual capability. The Concordance observed humans during crises and were perplexed. Alien species often fractured under pressure, but humans thrived. They pooled resources, strategized, and adapted as a unit. Challenges became opportunities for teamwork. A storm that could drown a single human might become manageable for a coordinated group. A predator that could kill one became vulnerable to many. Strength multiplied in unity. This revealed humanity's fourth secret. We survive because we stand together. Strength wasn't measured in muscle or weaponry alone. It was measured in coordination, loyalty, and trust. Where the galaxy assumed fear and selfishness dominated, humans demonstrated empathy as strategy and cooperation as instinct. By the time the Concordance engaged directly, they realized humans could not simply be studied, they had to be understood. A united species shaped by a hostile world was far more dangerous than a single predator or storm. Humanity had learned that survival was never just individual, it was communal, tactical, and unstoppable.
When the Concordance finally arrived in orbit, they expected fragile, primitive life. They anticipated cowering creatures, fearful and overwhelmed by the scale of the galaxy. What they found instead left their sensors and minds reeling. Humanity had survived a Class 12 Deathworld. They had mastered it. And now they looked outward. Alien fleets observed humans studying star maps, constructing vessels, and training for challenges beyond their world. The humans' calm, deliberate curiosity was alarming. Where other species might panic or retreat at the sight of advanced technology, humans engaged, analyzed, and adapted. No plea for protection, no signs of fear, just measured preparation. The Concordance quickly learned humanity's fifth secret. We are unpredictable by design. A species raised in constant danger does not conform to patterns, logic, or expectation. Every encounter, every decision, every strategy is shaped by millennia of adaptation. Humans could improvise solutions, exploit weaknesses, and act with coordination unmatched in the galaxy. Even the first contact transmissions reinforced this shock. Simple greetings carried underlying precision, observation, and confidence. Messages were neither aggressive nor submissive, yet radiated clarity of intent. Humans were ready to negotiate, explore, and, if necessary, fight. Their composure in the face of alien scrutiny demonstrated a species that had been tempered to perfection under constant threat. The Concordance realized an uncomfortable truth. Earth had not produced weaklings. It had produced a civilization capable of challenging expectations at every turn. And the galaxy had never met such beings before. By the time the Concordance fully observed humans, they realized the planet had left a lasting mark. Humans were not just survivors, hunters, innovators, or collaborators. They were unpredictable, relentless, and unstoppable. The remaining secrets of humanity revealed themselves in subtle, undeniable ways. Lesson 6. Resourcefulness under pressure. Humans could turn scarcity into advantage, crafting tools and strategies from minimal materials. Lesson 7. Resilience of spirit. Even when civilizations collapsed under storms or predators, survivors rebuilt stronger, wiser, and faster. Lesson 8. Tactical foresight. Humans could anticipate threats before they arrived, learning from observation, intuition, and instinct alike. Lesson 9. Fear as fuel. Humans felt danger, but instead of surrendering, they converted it into action, strategy, and courage. And Lesson 10. Relentless curiosity. The same drive that pushed humans to survive Earth propelled them to explore stars, challenge the unknown, and redefine the limits of possibility. The Concordance had underestimated a species shaped by constant adversity. A planet that should have destroyed them had instead forged warriors, thinkers, and pioneers capable of shaking the galaxy's order. Earth's trials had created not a fragile civilization, but a force the universe could not predict or control. And so the aliens came to understand what humans already knew. Survival was only the beginning. Adaptation, courage, ingenuity, unity, and relentless curiosity were the tools that would define humanity's destiny among the stars. In the end, Earth had given the galaxy a species it could not contain, a species whose secrets would echo across civilizations for millennia. Humanity had not just endured a death world, it had become one of the galaxy's greatest enigmas.